We set up format. That's how we will conduct the class. There will be a pre-class section. We will be sending you a lot of notes on what will be covered in every class. The class, I don't like to call it class, but I'll keep it more to a discussion. So the concept that I'll send you in advance, we will be discussing during the class, and there will be a lot of practical and hands-on on the second session or in between as needed. If a concept needs some hands-on session in between, we will do it, or towards end of the class, we will conduct the sessions. And the post class, you will have to take the notes from the class, go home and do some homework with the concept that you learned in a class. So this is what we feel is the most effective model for your learning, and that is how the concept that we learn in the real world can be embedded into your brain faster. So we are trying to do a demo in this class onto how this whole idea will work. And if you have some questions or ideas that pop up in between, feel free to post them or stop me in between. You can raise the hand. You can just make some noise to get my attention. So I'm switching to this one. What happens in pre-class? So we'll take one example. I'll take the example of week 1, class 1, and then I'll show you the notes that I'm planning to share with you guys and what happens in the actual class. So these two parts we will cover now. This is week 1. I gave you this all in advance, what we are planning to cover in class 1. Introduction, goals, types of testing, test cycle, manual versus automation, DevOps, Agile, and rational analysis and logical thinking. So to support this class, I have some notes prepared based on my experience or my exposure to the technology. And what you are seeing here are those kind of notes. So if you see them side by side, introduction section is further broken into very abstract kind of ideas of what software testing means. So once you go through all these lines, you can try to understand them. If you have any questions, so before coming into class, you can note down your questions or thoughts, and then we will have sort of a group discussion into this actual class instead of regular education mechanism where I just tell like, okay, software testing is about finding the bugs in a system and where people test certain software. It's not like that. You should be thinking about it in advance. If you need to Google it, find it, read it, go ahead and do it. And this class is more of a group discussion. So we try to solve your problem. We try to make you more creative using the ideas that are laid down here in different sections. Okay. So this is about introduction. There are different type of goals. Like there are diagrams, what supports the idea. So everything is listed here. Like here, why I highlighted these in bold color, because these are the primary kind of testing. So if you know these, you are good. If you want to read more, you want to have more trigger, more thoughts, go ahead and read about it. But if you are asking questions, the group discussion about this, we can discuss in detail each and every of that. So those questions would not be like this. Okay, tell me what is stress testing. The definition is there. I can tell you the example, like what is performance testing in context of VNurt.com or our different website. I can open another website and I can tell you where I need performance testing to be done. So those example will set the context in your brain. And when somebody is asking these questions to you in interview or in a real work environment, you should be able to correlate. It is not like a exam mode where you mug up something and you write the definition and after 10 days you forget what was it. So, that was about like there are different sections. You go through this in advance. Like I'll send this probably one day advance or couple of days advance, and then you can go through it, read it in detail. And if I feel like I need to cover in detail, I provided the links also, so you can read or get in-depth knowledge about it. And Once this context is set, we come to this class and we open this document and we say uh, like these areas we can start discussing, like whether the developed code software met specified requirements or not. What does it mean? What is a specified requirement? So how to identify, track, and close the defects. Any questions here? Evaluating components and interactions. Any thoughts? Anyone? Hello?
Ashley.
Hey, Madhvi.
No, no any doubt. It's a good discussion. Is
Okay. So I'll take example. I wanted to
See, your voice is breaking a little bit.
It looks like I was dropped and I joined back again. Something happened with the call. Is everybody on?
Yeah,
I see
it's
seven.
fine. See, now it's fine. You just need to speak a little louder now. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So going by the definition and what needs to be covered. What is the specified requirements? Like Amit and I walked you through different sections of this website, and I explained when I go to team, some data should come. When I go to classes, the classes data should load. So each and every piece is a specified requirement. I am specifying the requirement that this is the way this software should work, right? And if it is not working that way, if there is a change, then it is definitely a bug. Or you feel that it can work better if there is some idea that is implemented. Like a lot of time, I come up with some thoughts like um, uh, sign-in should come in different way, or some UI layout should be different. That also can be tracked as a bug or as a suggestion. Basically, anything that adds the value or ensures the quality of the whole product. So, what do you mean by quality? So, software is an intangible thing. If you are buying a phone, or if you are buying something which you can touch and feel, then it is called tangible item. But if you are talking about something which is software, like a website or a desktop application, or say one application that you are downloading from an app store, it is intangible. So how do you ensure that the quality and the overall build is good? You will test it, right? You will download the app, and if app is not opening or crashing, so you know that the app is not good, and you immediately delete it from your phone because the quality was bad. Nobody tested it. Probably they tested, but they didn't test in the real scenario, because like there are so many leading apps. uh, One app is there, if I turn off my location services, that app completely doesn't work, and it is nowhere related to anything like Google Map or something where location service is needed. So somebody has not done the proper job. He has not written the test case that when I turn off the location service and the app is working or not working. So I was talking about tangible and intangible items and overall quality. And once you understand the basic pieces of the requirements, like this is news, this is class, this is team, then you need to understand different components. So what is component? Component is a piece of workable unit. So, for example, this news and blog, you can say it is a component. It works in entirety, and this is totally independent of anything else. Teams is a component or a module, at least you can say. So, component, module, these are the jargons which you should be aware of. And like sign in, sign out, or creating the user, sign up, forgot password, this itself is a component. we call it user component or user management component, right? So different components and their interactions. So when I do a login, I should be able to access the messenger. For example, right now when I click messenger, it is not working. It is telling me to sign in. When I click sign in, I type in username password. The messenger is loading. That means user component is interacting with hub component. So this is a very good example when you validate the dependencies are working fine. Hub is dependent on user. It is working perfectly fine. That is the kind of overall feel you get once everything works fine. Uh, Asserting that agreed deliveries are met. So what is a delivery? So for example, Amit asked me, like when I go to classes and or say team, or Amit, I'm assuming because I'm thinking like Amit is as a client and I'm the guy who's working on these requirements. So there was a requirement where if somebody clicks discussion, he should be going to hub and the particular discussion should be selected, right? We had that requirement or somebody raised that as a bug. Somehow my net is slow. Did somebody join in between? I saw a new name here, Abhinendra. Okay. We were talking about delivery. What is delivery and what it means? So let me take one good example. So for example, we are inside Teams and we are in a list of the project. So now the requirement is like once I click these discussions, I should be going to the hub menu and proper discussion should be selected. Like right now, this DI marketing is not selected. I'll have to go again, click, and select that particular menu. So, so this delivery is failed. In this case, this deliverable is not working. So you are asserting that each and every delivery is done, or at least it is functional. Now, what is assumption? So once we get these requirements, right, this website is working, and we will have a lot of assumption. So what is assumption? Assumption is like it is very obvious thing. You need not to write each and every requirement. Once client says like I need a website, then assumption is like obviously there will be users who will be working on that website. You can again double confirm with client. Okay, is this lot of users are coming or only internal user, external user? So they make assumption. So like there is one assumption like this website will have one menu, will have logo, and will have a footer. But in our case, footer is not there. So this assumption is not met because nobody explicitly told like I don't need a footer. So there has to be a footer. Assumption can be like when I click sign out, to sign in. When I go and sign in, the menu should automatically change to sign out, right? Or not? Is this a valid assumption or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you all agree, right? When I sign in, the menu should change to sign out. When I click sign out, the menu should change to sign in. So this is very obvious case. This is the assumption that it should be working that way. So lot of assumption you need to verify as part of testing. And each and everything you cannot write, but try to cover lot of things, whatever you can think of. Like today, Amit and I was testing, and there is a bug. Also, it is a very valid bug. So your creativity should be very high when you are testing, because you cannot just criticize the product and find the bugs. You will have to be very creative. Like Amit and I was testing this thing today, and because I need to sign in, I guess. So see, I go to class and I try to register. The data is not coming because this system doesn't know who am I. I have not yet signed in. But when I sign in, once I sign in, this data starts coming, right? Right? So,
Yeah.
so this was not working like this. Somebody raised a bug, Amit or I raised a bug, and we fixed this bug. That when somebody is signed in, his data should come. Why is he supposed to type again and again? So this is a usability issue that we have resolved. But it is very obvious. It is underlying assumption like somebody is logged in, then he should be seeing his details pre-populated here. And now when he clicks register, he is going to another level. He comes to payment, the cost and everything is there. And when he clicks pay now, then the information goes at a different level. So this information was not coming correctly. When I logged in as Amit, my name is coming. So this is another bug that we are trying to fix. But why I'm saying you will have to be creative, because in testing, anybody can log with single user and test it. But a good tester will always log with 2, 3 different user and see the data is coming properly or not. Like this, right now it is showing Sri Datta, it is perfectly fine. It is my user. Now when I log out and I try to log in as Amit, Amit, I assume the email is right.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay. So now see, now I'm testing as Amit. What is Amit's view of this particular screen? So Amit Agrawal, everything looks good till here. But the moment I am going to the payment, it is showing Sri Datta's information. So this is a bug which very few testers will be able to find if they are just testing, because 99% will test with their own user and they will say Tata bye bye, end of the day I found 10 bugs, done. But to find these kind of bugs, you will have to be very creative. So that was about bugs and overall how we test. A brief introduction. Any questions, any thoughts around that area? Madhvi, Khyati, Abhinendra?
No.
No one?
No. In my side, no.
Sorry?
In my side, no.
Okay. So that covers a lot of introduction. What is assumption? What are the defects, bugs, and expected, unexpected behavior, and standardization. So standardization means, for example, Amit, we had that example, right? Somewhere we are seeing a scroll bar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is very good example of standardization. Sorry, this screen is not coming in full screen. Let me show it. I'll have to resize it just to show you guys some standardization example. So now this scroll bar is coming correct. You are seeing this scroll bar, right?
Yeah.
This scroll bar was coming until here. Here. So this section was chopped off in this screen. Right now, somehow it is fixed. And all other screens, the scroll bar, yeah, looks like, see, you are seeing this scroll bar,
Yes.
right? It is cutting at least 5% of the screen. This is non-standard. This is non-standard behavior. And once you come in this screen, this scroll bar is only inside that box where it's supposed to operate. So this is very good example of standard UI, standard layout, standard. There, you can read about it. There will be a lot of standards. More you read, more you will be aware about what you should look into. Attention to detail is very important because you will not be able to find really good bugs if you don't know what standard means, what assumption means, and how you should be following. There will be UI standards, there will be programming standards, even the database. When you are verifying the database in the backend, there will be a lot of standards that's supposed to be followed. So, for example, this one. User is active or inactive. A lot of people follow 0 and 1. Some people might follow true and false. Some people might follow ABCD. If there is some ABCD written, that means user is active. But this is not a standard. If 0 and 1 is there, it is very easy to read, parse, and understand. So quality starts with very basic things, and it makes big impact in terms of software and the deliveries. So that was about introduction. And this is how I will be covering different sections. And because today you guys are not prepared, I didn't give you this content in advance. But I am sure once I hand over this to you in advance and you read through it, you think about it, then you might have different questions. The discussion will not be like this. Right now it is monologue, but I want it to be more of a dialogue. And it will be dialogue once you guys go through it in your daytime or whenever you get time, or like I'll give you a couple of days in advance, then there will be more discussions and this will be more productive for you guys, right? So what else you want me to cover? Because this is demo, I'm not taking it very extensively. We thought of starting today, but we are postponing this to 1st of March or the first Tuesday, I guess. Let me check my calendar. So this is Feb.
It will 5th of March.
Yeah, it will be 5th of March, the first class. We will cover all these topics again. Introduction is just like that. But all other topics are advanced topics. What is test cycle and manual versus automated? In this, I'll show you one real example. A login test case is written using Selenium, and it is loading the data and clicking the UI automatically. Then these are a lot of jargons related to DevOps. And we have Agile or introduction, how Agile is done, how it is different from waterfall and the basic working model. So you guys should be aware about all these terms. What is user story? What is test case? And what is a Scrum? Right? This is just about if anybody is interested in reading. So what is the overall feel till now? Tell me very frankly, be very honest. If you guys feel somewhere we need to change, correct, we are open for it.
It's nice, Sri.
Thank you, Madhvi.
Yeah, it's good, sir.
Going good?
Continuous চাকরি করতো আমরা কি জায়গাটা আসতো মনে হয়
I couldn't make out what you just did. That was Abhinendra, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so can you repeat that?
No, sir, no. Sir, please send the just PDF in.
I'll send this content to you guys. You are much ready than this is just like for your follow. And it's not like this content is not shareable. You can share it with your friends and whoever is interested. we want to do the lot of value add instead of keeping our content secret, but encourage them to discuss with you. If you are showing the content and you are discussing with them, then it will be more productive for you rather than throwing it at them and then they are sharing with somebody.
It's 9 o'clock.
Content is available everywhere, but what adds value is like I'm telling you my experiences and you are telling me my experiences. So just feel free to share and discuss and bring in more ideas to the table if you can. Anything? So I'm giving it a stop. This was just for demo purpose. Remaining 15-20 minutes, we will have more discussion about VNurt and how we will take this forward. Amit, do you have anything?
I just wanted to ask one question to all the people, basically Harish, Madhvi, Bhagyashri, Khyati, and Abhinendra. So you guys have attended mostly all the 25 minutes, most of you, 25 to 30 minutes. What do you think about the pace of the session? Do you think it's very fast, it's very slow, or mm, uh, I mean, share your experience in terms of how much you got it, or you didn't got anything, or you knew everything. Anyone
So,
can start.
according to me, it's a good move fast.
It's a good session, and I have a subject also software testing in the SAM, so it's look very interesting to for me.
Okay. So Harish, how was the pace? What do you think about the pace of the session?
So it's okay, sir.
It's good. How about this? Maybe Khyati, something from your side?
Sir, the pace was okay and it is interesting because I'm also having the subject of software development and project management. So I can get some things right now.
Anybody else wants to share? Or I'll call the names. Maybe Bhagyashri would like to hear from you something.
Yes. She joined first time.
Yeah, it's good, and I got something, but not very clearly. But next time I will read all the documents and then I will prepare for.
Yeah, that's that will happen from next time. Shirata is going to share this document upfront, as he said, 1 or 2 days before the session, so you'll have enough time to go through it, and then I think you can digest it much better than what you may have done today.
Yeah, Amit, I invited Bhagyasri. I'll tell a little bit about her. She is working with Paytm and she is planning to move to software testing domain.
Oh.
So I brought her because if she can understand, and pretty much everyone had history, we explain a lot of stuff, and then everybody can understand. So we will try to make it more elaborate, so anybody who is newcomer can also understand. Thanks for that, Bhagyasri.
Anybody else wants to share anything? Otherwise, I will let Shri continue with the session.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. So, guys, read about DevOps. So, a lot of you are coming because of you have a subject or you have interest in this software testing area. It is assumed that software testing is only for those who are not selected to be a developer. But that is a very false statement. In real time, a lot of guys in Google or the big companies who are a real developer, they also take the job of software tester. Because if you can test your software really well, then you can develop also really well. Because you know where all it can fail. So do not be under assumption like software testing is something like we cannot do really good job. Those who think like that are really stupid, or they have very limited perspective of like overall software development. And I wanted to highlight today DevOps is another area. So when we build a software, we package it, we release it, and there are a lot of process around it, like how the software will go in the real server and how it is maintained. If there is a problem, who's going to address it? If server crashes, so there is a team which takes the ownership of maintaining that whole environment where the software is released. Like for example, you are building one app, and the app is going into App Store. So everybody is using that app, and suddenly a new version you are trying to release. So you'll have to plan, like your app is used all over the world, or it is used only in India. If it is used in India, then you will release in night time. But if it is used all over the world, then you will have to ask some very difficult question, like the app will be down for 1 minute, 2 minutes. What happens if somebody wants old version versus new version? So there is a lot of process around it, and the guy who manages it or who works on all these problems are DevOps guys. So that is another area where a lot of people can build their career if they like to play with tools and technology instead of actual testing or actual software development. So this is one area which I wanted to highlight. Read little bit about these SDLC models. I'll anyways send this. So Agile is the most popular SDLC model used industry-wide because we save a lot of time in documentation and the, like I said, for example, VNurt.com, this team menu, I wanted some specific buttons here, or once this software started developing, I realized like here instead of 3 buttons, I wanted 5 buttons. So in the traditional waterfall model, this is very difficult because once the release is over, one iteration is over, that is like usually 3 to 4 months, then only I can make the changes and get the new requirement. By the time here 5 buttons come, I'll find 10 more different things that I wanted to be done here. So in Agile, we call it a sprint. A sprint lasts usually 2 to 4 weeks. So if I need these buttons here, 5 buttons, I can get it done in 4 weeks instead of waiting for 3 months. And I don't need to document a lot for that. If I ask to prepare a Word document, it is really painful for everyone. Instead of I can call the manager and I say, hey, I need 5 buttons here instead of 3 buttons. The manager will ask, what will be the text inside those buttons and what it will do. So he will say, call your business analyst and I'll tell him what are the functionalities. You evaluate with your team and come back tomorrow. So the button thing is done within a day. At least everybody understands what these buttons do. 2 new buttons has come and what is the purpose of these buttons when it will be delivered. And the developer will come. He will say, okay, business analyst, explain me the requirement. I need to work on those 2 buttons, and these 2 buttons are very difficult to implement. So I'll take 10 days time. So manager goes back and tells the client that, okay, my developer is saying 10 days. What do you think? And then he might agree or he might debate about it. But the overall idea is like customer need not to wait for 3 months to just add 2 buttons here. So this is the model overall, how Agile works. There are different steps and the delivery is very fast. So this is a cycle basically that is usually done in 3 to 4 weeks. And it is very, very fast in terms of software implementation. So that was about Agile. Read about manual and automated testing. I gave some link here. And a test cycle. So once you test and everything is over, like we went through a cycle of testing into VNurt.com, and if we are releasing something new on this platform, then we need to again write the test cases for that new requirement and then test everything, find more bugs, and then close. We say like it is delivered and everything looks good. So there are different test cycles. It is a circular path. You identify requirement UX, you know, like what should be the status once the requirements are implemented, and you need to plan like if there are 1,000 test cases, who will be doing what within the test team. Somebody say like I'll take care of user login and sign up, other guy will say I'll take care of news and feed. Like we divided between you guys, Khyati, Rupali, Madhi, everybody was working on different sections. And then execution, if you find some defect, we can argument about it, or we can work on those defects and then release. and then once everything looks good, we raise our hand like, okay, we are good. We'll do this test cycle again. So we followed that test cycle. We fixed a lot of bugs also, but we didn't close the cycle yet. So we will close the cycle somewhere in between, and then we'll start another test cycle. So that was about test cycle. Any questions about types of bugs? Regression. Anybody knows what is regression? No, I heard no. Probably Abhinendra said that, or somebody said. Okay. So shall we give that example, Amit? Last night.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So last night I fixed something on this website, and I was fixing something. This was the issue, like if user types in some wrong username password, then our menus were not working. Okay, somebody types something rubbish like this, then our menus stopped working completely. So when I fixed this bug, menus started working, but our hub feature and sign in sign out stopped working completely. So I am working on this problem. Menus are not working, and I break something else because this product is stable now. If I fix news and blogs, everything else should be working. And if I break this, or I ensure that nothing else is broken while fixing this bug, this is called regression. So if there is one app and I'm fixing something like apps, I should be able to order food onto Uber app, and I realize like I'm able to order the food, but I am not able to order the cab because app simply crashes. That should be something related to regression issue, because Uber cab is working forever, right? That feature is always working. Uber food is something new. So while adding that new feature, they screwed down the whole Uber app. So that is a very big regression issue. Somebody should be fired for that, actually. So that is called regression. We explained you integration, right? But I'll go ahead and again. So we are in the classes menu right now. We click register. So let me sign in again because I don't want to use some rubbish information here. So, meaning of integration is like different pieces, if they work together really well, it is called integrated. So like your bones are in good shape, your hands and legs are not broken, then your body is well integrated. If leg is broken, then body is disintegrated or something has broken. So similarly in software, if different pieces are working together really good, then the integration is good. So this is a class piece. I click register. I'm able to register. I got a success message here in green color. I click pay now. Now this payment is a different component. We are not having bank account and anything like that. Somebody else is providing this payment gateway, like your Razor Pay or Paytm or anything else. They are expert in getting and making the payments. They receive the payment, they send the payment. They are expert in that. So we are just using their software piece here, and our software piece and their software piece should work really good together. So when I click this pay button, and this box is opening, that means first level of integration is good. For example, I select UPI, I type some address here, and I say pay. So if this payment is received in the account and database values are good, that means this particular integration has worked. So once you start writing test cases, you will have to write all these test cases. Like UPI is one test case, card is another test case, net banking is third test case, and wallet, and like these are generic test cases. If a lot of these are covered, 90% is covered. You can write test cases like user email should be shown in the email box. Phone is should be there. For example, this logo is not coming. This is a bug. Here our logo should come, something like this, shown on the top. So this integration testing is failing because our logo is not coming. But it is a low priority bug. It is not that is causing the payment to be broken. It will be high priority bug if here instead of my email, Amit's email is coming. Something like that. What I was showing you, that is a high priority bug because payment confirmation will go to other users' email. So that is about integration, and that covers pretty much all for today. There are a lot of documentation I'm still to put in this. So I'll send towards end of the day or probably tomorrow, and I'll prepare for the second class too. So any questions and comments, thoughts? Be creative, guys. Hello. Madhvi, Khyati, Harish, Abhinendra, Bhagisri, all are good?
Yes, sir.
Shall we close the session for today?
Yes, sir.
No questions, I assume. Amit, we are good. We will conduct the first session on 5th, like we saw on calendar. And this will be the theme. And if somebody feels like they have different thought, or after 2 days they feel this should be covered or this should not be covered, or delivery should be in different way, then feel free to drop us a note directly or on the group, and we will try to fix the problem. Yeah, who was it? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night and have a nice weekend too. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for
Good night. Good night.